start a new video this morning on the brush cleared out. Gotta be careful where I step, it's very muddy. And I have slipped down this hill before. Yes, I've had to start taking the lunge whip out with me to have Sugar respect my space. All she has to do is see me with it and she completely complies with backing off. But she was getting bad about turning her butt to me like she was going to kick me. And then I decided, instead of chancing it, why don't I just carry a lunge whip with me? And I did. And boy, that ended that quickly. I wonder if I'm going to have to continue to do that, though. Grace and rags aren't so bad. That Sugar's got an attitude sometimes. Anyway, that's the gully where the big pile is, right there. Creek runs right behind all that stuff pushed over. And that's why we couldn't push it any further, as it's right on the bank of the creek. Are you following me, little Gray? Boy, it's muddy out here today. What muck boots are for. Slop, slop, slop. Okay. Front of the doe barn. Well, we still call it the doe barn, even though we don't have goats anymore. Used to be all brush. Literally right up here to the fence. You couldn't see. And it appears Missy has had puppies up under the barn. Going out the gate up here. Got you a big pal there, huh, Rags? Keep everybody nice and happy. It's hard to do this with one hand. There we go. They're getting along much better now. Even her and Grace, which actually Grace was in heat yesterday, so she's kind of following Sugar around. These hills will tire you out fast. I usually ride down the road and go off in the brush just past the creek. I don't know, I might walk out there too. The cat's not following me. Oh, he's not. Anyway. There's the horses in the pasture. You used to not be able to see the barn from here because of the amount of brush. We're talking about putting in like a little parking lot, I guess you'd call it, down in there for the horse trailer, boat, any other miscellaneous. Down here a little bit. Curious too to see how muddy it would get from rain in certain spots, especially for planting a round pen. Anyway, yeah, up in here somewhere. And we wanted a barricade, or like a privacy fence between the road and our property down in here. So that's why we just left a lot of brush along the roadside there, and he just took a lot of these downed logs and trees, just kind of stacked them up back here. I hear the cat, he must still be up in the yard. I was originally thinking about putting a round pen right in this area, or maybe further back, because it gets a lot of shade right here, and I like that, especially in hot south. It's so humid even today. It's probably in the low 80s, but it is so humid. We ran across a hornet's nest right in here. Luckily, he only got stung once, because the vines just happened to fall directly on top of the bobcat. Very fortunate there. And we were very shocked we didn't run into more bees' nests. We tend to find a lot of bees whenever we get out messing in the brush. We're talking about putting a bridge here, which is all poison ivy right here, of course. But it looks to be probably one of the closest sections where the banks meet. So that's what we're thinking. Plus, I liked it being offset from the road a good ways, kind of close to the barn. So I think it's good. This was all cleared. We did this by hand. I don't know if you remember from the other video. And then it was cleared, the pathway up through there to the barn. But all this was just a wall of green. It was really cool. It's a lot bigger than it seemed like it would be. Moth flying into me. That bobcat. We got most of the work done on Saturday. Sunday, just come out and kind of cleaned it up a little bit more. Moved this big pile of brush that used to be sitting right here. Because this used to be the kid pen. The fence came out probably not even quite this far. Ran to that little tree right there. And then cut back up towards that tree right there. And then to the side of the barn. But yeah, the creek is right on the other side of all this brush. Some places it's really close, like right on the edge, and some it's just got a couple feet. We're gonna join the fence up to the old buck fence, come down, and just basically follow the outline back up in there, back around, just because it'll be easier and it'll help keep it clear. If we don't fence it in, then Kudzu will take it back. This was the gully, which he filled in with some dirt and a lot of the brush he just pushed back here. And behind this big tree here, it was really too difficult to get any further back. This side there was too close to the gully, and there just wasn't enough ground. And on this side, it goes up very steep and then drops off. We may eventually get into that by hand, because there's none of these weed trees back there. All it is blackberry vines and kudzu. You can get that with the bush axe pretty good. See if you can actually see the creek from here. I don't know if you can on the camera. Yep, that's the creek right there. And this is pretty close because the drop-off's just right there. Ooh. Lots of blackberries. Or raspberries, I don't know which. This would be perfect for riding on. Look how flat it is. It had a few little divots here and there, especially back here in this section. He graded most of that out. Then we have to fill in that. It's a big groundhog hole. It's at least a foot wide and a foot tall. Don't want a horse getting hurt on that. There's another one. That one's much smaller. About 6 to 8 inches. We saw a fox back where we're going to put the bridge in. We were walking over there discussing that, as a matter of fact. And lo and behold, there it was, staring right at me. I was hoping I'd have enough battery to be able to walk down the road and show some of the straightaway where we've been riding right now. It's starting to grow up. but I don't know if my battery's going to last. It's already got a slash through it. I'll just go until it quits. And I don't know how to edit videos at this point. I've not made an effort to learn either, but but for now, just go until it quits and I'll put up whatever I get. Climb up the hill. Our existing property line stops right here, that pink strip. The 2 acres we're buying, I've already signed the papers. Just a matter of getting a last signature to, this is a couple people's names on it, and they're in a different state. So quiet out here this morning. Any other time, Missy be with me. Except for the fact that she's preoccupied with pups under the barn. I have no idea how many. She's a good 20 feet in. I can't get to her. It's only about a foot tall under there. There's the new property line, that pink stake there. Oops. See how flat it is down here? This is where we've been bringing the horses to ride. All this will be fenced in. Our property goes up there, where that stake is, and then it cuts through a lot of that overgrown stuff. I don't think you can even see the stake in the back now. The kudzu's gotten so tall. But yeah, it's mostly kudzu. A little bit of honeysuckle here and there. These are actually baby sweet gums. And then blackberry vines. They're very thorny. There's another view. The bridge, let me think. I think will be coming in right here, as a matter of fact. Yeah, the bridge will cut through right there, which is a good little distance from the road. And then the horses, we'll put a gate there since Combined Utilities will have a right-of-way out here because of the manholes in the sewer line. So all it's really good for is pasture. But anyway, we're going to put a gate up there so they call and say they're coming out here to do some work or coming out to do clearing or anything. Then I can just close the gate and keep them up there. And they won't come across the bridge. This will be off limits at that time. There's another big groundhog hole around here somewhere. I can't see it with all the kudzu. Can't see pretty much any of that because of all the plant growth over here.